inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm. As always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. I don't even know to tell y'all what we're going to talk about today. I'm sure y'all know exactly what we're going to be talking about today based on the activities of yesterday. So, before we dive in, let me tell you how you can become a part of this conversation to talk about the by-election. The numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 8010271, 8010271. We're coming to you live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. You can also check out my channel on rumble.com. That's rumble.com. All one word, Global Paradigm Shift, no spaces in between. Also download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and carry us with you 24/7. Last but by no means least, excuse me, welcome to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio. Welcome from Grand Bahama, especially New Providence, throughout the family of islands, and those of you who are tuned in from around the world. And so yesterday, the big question was, who was going to run the fastest to get to the proverbial top of the steps in the race I'm going to call the Drama in Grand Bahama, West Grand Bahama and Bimini, to be more specific. And what a race it was.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And so now we know the person screaming at the top of those proverbial stairs is none other than the Progressive Liberal Party's candidate, Kingsley Smith, who emerged the victor in yesterday's by-election with an unofficial total of 2,150 votes compared to the second place finisher in the race, Ricardo Grant of the Free National Movement, with 1,276 votes. Lincoln Bain from the Coalition of Independents garnered 307 votes. Independent DeQuan Swain captured 28 votes. And Ternille Burroughs, also an independent candidate, got 4 votes. So we now know who has won the battle in the drama for Grand Bahama and Bimini. So, with that being said, let me introduce My guest for today, you all should know it could be C. Allen, right? C. Allen Johnson, what you saying, boy? I think, are you muted? Because I'm not hearing you. What's going on? Oh, wait a minute. I might have my audio turned, my volume turned now. Is that it? No, my volume is all the way up. It's your end that's happening? I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, I think C. Allen may have to sign out and sign back in. Is that it? Yeah, okay. Let's see Allen sign up and sign back in. Because, we got to hear from Mr. C. Allen Johnson today. Can't do the show without him. So, we had this big race yesterday in the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. As you all know by now, that seat was left vacant after the untimely death of the one Honorable Obadiah Hercules Wilchcombe, who was the sitting member of parliament for that constituency and a cabinet minister who passed away quite unexpectedly, which made it necessary for us to go into a by-election. And this one was a very interesting race because I've been, in my many, many years in journalism in this country, I've covered a lot of elections, particularly when I was a practicing broadcast journalist. And I don't know if I recall any of them taking such a nosedive as this one did. Clearly, there was a lot riding on this outcome than just what appeared to be on the surface a seat in the House of Assembly. Clearly, this was about, I dare say, a leadership question, both within the Progressive Liberal Party and within the Free National Movement. That's really what this was about. Now, I know that COI supporters were hoping that Lincoln Bain would have gone in there and upset the apple cart. And if you would have listened to them, he would have been the next member of parliament for that constituency, because Bahamian people tied both the PLP and the F&M. Listen, I don't know if we will ever get away. Maybe we will, but I don't know if we will ever get away from this two-party system. And who knows, maybe in time we will. But yesterday wasn't the time. Clearly. Because as you would have seen and heard, there was no contest when it came to who the electorate was looking at. It was obviously a question of PLP or F&M. COI was a non-factor. Even with the votes that Lincoln gathered, it wouldn't have made a difference either way in the numbers. So he really didn't hurt the PLP or the F&M with a couple of votes that he got. So clearly the Bahamas, at least this constituency, and at least today, is not ready to move beyond that two-party system. That's just reality. And I still maintain what I would have said earlier, that we still have not learned as a people to look at issues and content of character as determining factors as to who we will vote for. It's all about the party. It's all about who your party sent and whether or not you choose to put your support behind who your party supported. Now, remember now, when it comes to the PLP side, Shane Gibson decided that he was going to start campaigning for the seat before he even got the nod from the party, even before Obie Woodscombe was buried, which I personally thought was in poor taste. But for whatever reason, he decided he was going to start campaigning and gathering his support for the seat even before the party said to him, "You have the nod." But that created a problem when the party made it clear that they weren't going to give him the nod. And so now you had all this riffraff and uproar between those who had rallied behind Shane Gibson, hoping that he would become the candidate, and those who were sticking with the party line. I played a clip on a show earlier where there was this one particular woman who was saying, "Shane or nothing, Shane or nothing. Don't send nobody else here. We ain't want nobody but Shane or nothing." And then after the party made it clear that they weren't going to pick Shane as the candidate, that same woman was seen on video, "Well, you know, we're going with the party and Kingsley Smith is the man." I say, wow. Shouldn't be surprised. So the PLP had its own drama going on with regard to that whole Shane Gibson versus Kingsley Smith situation. And then Shane said he was going to run for chairman because he think Fred got to go. All that drama. I ain't got to go over that again. Y'all know the drama. So that's the PLP side, right? The PLP had their own drama. Don't let them make you believe that there wasn't no drama going on. There's plenty of drama going on. But on the F&M side, they clearly got their own drama going on too. Because we saw where Pintard, the leader of the Free National Movement, went out and got some heavy hitters within the Free National Movement to come and rally behind him as the party gave its nod to Bishop Ricardo Grant. And while there was no scrimmage between Grant and anybody else, there's clearly some kind of rumbling going on within the Free National Movement as it relates to the leadership of that organization. And I get what Dwayne Sons and other people say, but oh yeah, we're united. If you can't see that they have an issues in that party with regard to the leadership struggle, then you are very blind. So clearly, you notice that Minnis was nowhere to be found. He ain't show up to none of the things supporting Grant. None. And there is no secret for those of us who like to pay attention to politics and what is happening in the Bahamas with regard to that it is believed that Minnis is trying to make a comeback. And so there are some who are questioning whether or not Minnis intentionally stayed away, and I'm hearing some other serious allegations, so that he could undermine the leadership of Michael Pintard, so that he could position himself to be the Free National Movement's leader going into the next election. This by-election had all of that riding on it. Before I dive into the videos, etc., and I'm hoping that Cialan can get back in quickly, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hey, Ms. Malcolm.
See,
that's why I told you last week, it's a must-win for the PLP. You see, I don't hear but no percentage, low turnout. That don't even make sense.
Mm-hmm.
They had their people on their ground to force and tell the people to come out. And if the people didn't come out, it's shown that the people,
Mm-hmm.
the F&M, they didn't want to vote, and they didn't want to vote for maybe Mr. Pintard. It's simple as that. But we come up with all this excuse, low turnout, all this percentage and all that. They had the opportunity. So the PLP went to their people, and their people show up. And it's simple as that. We have to stop looking for these kind of excuse. Now, Mr. Minutes is crossing his leg, and he's saying, yeah, you all invite me to come. You all run look for your savior, believe that Papa was going to make a change, and now they see Papa in Elizabeth Estate. He was a failure in that. And Grand Bahama was a failure in that. And when they were looking for Papa to give interview yesterday, Papa can be in the Nassau, back to Nassau a long time. So Papa's he going to do what he had to do and come back. So it is simple as that. But now everybody want to jump on this low turnout. They had the opportunity to go out there and vote. As simple as that. This pastor get beat in his own hometown in polling division number 5, polling division number 2, polling division number 14, the stronghold of the FNM. The only polling division he beat Mr. Smith in is polling division number 11A, 118 to 116. This gentleman beat him in every polling division. Bad. Lincoln, I would see. You see me? I ain't bring up Lincoln Bay and them, right? There was nothing inside this. Okay, so it's showing that the PLP is still the favorite to run this country and win the January election coming up in 2026. Mark it down. The PLP ain't going away right now. You hear me? And what this mean for Michael Pentard? He's off the scene now. Watch it. Thank you.
Thanks for calling. C. Allen, welcome back to the show. Since the caller bring it up, wait, I have you muted because we were hearing all that background. You were making noise. Okay. So since the caller bring it up, right? The caller, I was going to touch this a little later, but since the caller bring it up, I want to play something as it relates to this whole question of Michael Pentard's leadership. I was going to save it for a little later, but I might as well bring it up now. And then, Seattle, we're going to hear from you about all of this political chess moves that are going on right now. So check this out, y'all.
Michael Pentard had everything at his disposal. Everything. He is from Freeport. He lives in Freeport. His family and friends are from Freeport. He brought down all the big guns from the FNM. And he still lost an election, and lost it very big. To make matters even worse, he lost the election to an FNM turncoat. You see, we're missing one fundamental fact. The idea is to win. The PLP did not want Kingsley Smith as their initial candidate, but they knew by selecting him and getting behind him and supporting him that they would have won. They understood the concept of winning. Michael Pentard had every advantage at his disposal, yet he still lost. What other indication is there that we need to know that we cannot win a general election with Michael Pentard at the helm? We simply cannot win with Michael Pentard as leader. I have nothing personal against Michael Pentard. He's a wonderful friend of mine, very intelligent, very gifted poet. But the objective here is for the Free National Movement to win the next general elections. And it has been made clear to us that under our present leadership, the Free National Movement will not be able to accomplish that goal. We will not be able to win the next general elections with the present leadership that's in place. We have to move away from Michael Pintard. We have to move away from Shannon Dawn Cartwright. We have to move away from Dwayne Sands. And we have to focus on a winning methodology in order to ensure that the FNM becomes the next government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We simply cannot win an election with our present leadership in place. We cannot do it. The idea is to win. Put aside your emotions, put aside your feelings, put aside your likes or dislikes. Focus on the goal. The goal is for the FNM to regain the government. And with this present leadership, we definitely cannot do that.
All right, C. Allen. Now, let's get you in here because late in the game, you decided to stand up next to Michael Pintard and endorse their candidate for this by-election. And now you hear what that gentleman had to say in that clip, that Michael Pintard ain't a man to carry the party into the next election. Now, he ain't say who he support, but if that voice belongs to who I think it belongs to, that's a menace man. So, what say you, C. Allen Johnson?
Omar Archer. Omar Archer. Menace surrogate, Menace disciple. In fact, he is Menace John the Baptist.
Oh, Lord.
Hear ye, hear ye. There will come one greater than I.
So you saying what he's saying ain't true? It's just a ploy of the minister.
Let me say to him, right? First of all, let me say to Omar Archer, if Menace is so great, tell Menace resign his seat and run as an independent in Kalani. Okay? He's talking about, it's the same as saying that you go into St. Anne's, right? And the PLP, Brave Davis, should resign because he loses St. Anne's. If you look at the analysis of what has happened, and so this is where you have someone who is trying to promote someone who is, for me, whose ambition is greater than their ability. We tried Menace. Let me first say, right? There is no doubt who he represents, okay? Because in this one, he tried not to mention Menace's name. Menace, not only did Menace lose his exact same seat, in case Mr. Omar Archer forgot, but Menace also lost dozens of other seats that he had, and he lost an entire government when the economy was about to progress for automatic recovery, to the point that the PLP has rode the wave for 18 months. No one told Menace to call an early election. He did it. What Menace did in locking down the Bahamian people, FNMs and PLPs have not forgiven him. People still scrunch at the name of Hubert Alexander Menace. They need to not look at this search for power. See, what the problem is that Menace sees the fact that he became prime minister because he was opposite a Perry Glasgow Christie 2.0 that Mr. Fred Mitchell himself said, we must not allow that to come back, in our view, late again, and corruption. That's the way Mr. Fred Mitchell indirectly described, without calling names, Mr. Perry Glasgow Christie. We all know when you say late again in the PLP who we're talking to. So in essence, Menace sees Mr. Brave Davis as Perry Glasgow Christie 3.0, and in spite of his lackluster performance, people want to get rid of Perry Christie again, even though he's using the name Philip Brave Davis. So, but Mr. Menace has to make an argument. And they said, right, power must be taken, not given. And if Mr. Menace has the testicular fortitude Just say you're going to seek leadership in the FNM again, and don't do it covertly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay, while T. Allen gets his camera sorted out. So clearly there is, I think C. Allen is freezing again. So he may have to, I don't know what's going on with him over there. So clearly, as I would have said at the very, very beginning of this thing, there was a lot more to this. Let me just take his camera off the screen while he's going through his challenges. There's a lot more to this race yesterday than just a by-election seat. Clearly, there was so much more riding on that seat. Number one, the first indication, or among the first indications, would have been what happened at the PLP convention, particularly speaking as it relates to the race for chairmanship. Because you had a sitting prime minister, who's the leader of the party, endorse the incumbent chairman in the middle of that race, which was very unusual. And then the incumbent chairman, who became winner again, said, if I didn't win this election, I would have stepped down from cabinet because it would have been a repudiation of the Davis administration's ability to lead. I'm paraphrasing. So that to me indicated that there was some kind of internal situation going on with the Progressive Liberal Party, because I don't see how the chairmanship race have anything to do with your ability to serve as a cabinet minister, or why the two should be connected in any which way. But yet this is what Mr. Mitchell said. And even within that race, we saw there was this tug of war between certain factions within the Progressive Liberal Party. And so I've long said that the election yesterday, the by-election yesterday, the fact that the party selected Kingsley Smith as the person that they wanted to represent the party in that race, in spite of the fact that it appeared to be that Shane Gibson had already garnered so much support, and all of the fallout that happened when it was announced that they weren't going to go with Shane, all of that should tell you that there was more to that race for the PLP side than just a seat. Because let's face it, even if they had lost that seat, it wouldn't have changed the weight of power in terms of the number of seats they have in the House of Assembly. So you can't say, oh, winning this seat was going to make a difference in terms of the control of government. No, not by far. There's some kind of internal struggle going on that made it necessary in the eyes of the leadership of the PLP that they had to win that seat. Now, you heard yourself the audio clip just now with Mr. Archer saying that the FNM got its own challenges, and that it is very clear that the FNM can win a dog catcher race with Michael Pinta. No, he ain't said that. He ain't said that. I say that just not trying to be funny, right? But he made it very clear that in his opinion, he don't think that Pintard is the man to lead the FNM into the next election. So again, on the PLP side, a lot was riding on that by-election race yesterday. You all thought this was about Grant and Smitty.
Nope.
This ain't have much to do with them. They happen to be the two men whose face was out there. But trust me, this had very little to do with them two individuals.
Yeah, it's called a proxy war.
Exactly. So here we are, where we now have a declared winner. Well, unofficially, but based on the wide gap between first and second, I really don't think there'll be no challenge there.
No, I think they conceded.
Yeah, they conceded defeat last evening. I was looking for that video, but it's buried in some long broadcast, and I ain't had time to dig through all that, so I wasn't able to pull it up. But the Free National Movement conceded defeat. So what does this all mean as it relates to these political chess games that are being played in the country? We're going to talk about that. We got to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to look at more of this drama in West Grand Bahama and Germany and what it means.
Drama in the Bahamas.
You know, back in the day, I can't remember who he was fighting. You might be able to help me with this, Cialis, but the late Muhammad Ali. There was a big fight in the Bahamas called the Drama in the Bahama. Drama in Bahama.
I don't know. Was that Spinks or somebody? I don't remember.
I can't remember who he was fighting. Well, we got our own drama, but this is drama in West Grand Bahama at Liberty. We can talk more about that on the other side of the break. Child, this show going deep. And if you got thin skin, you might want to check out now. Because we can say some things we can mash plenty corn.
Yeah.
We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, all-terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5. Michelle Malcolm here in your company along with C. Alan Johnson. We're talking about the drama in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, the outcome of the by-election that took place yesterday. And before I bring C. Alan back onto the stage, let's go ahead and tell you how you can become a part of this conversation. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271. That's 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271. That's 801-0271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. You can also check us out on rumble.com. And when you go there, just look for Global Paradigm Shift, all one word, no spaces in between. And you can check us out there, or you can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there 24/7. We're streaming live on Facebook, like I said. If you haven't already done so, please like and share the show. And I want to say a huge thank you to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio. Welcome to the show, whether you are tuned in from here in New Providence or Grand Bahama, the rest of the family islands, or throughout the world. Welcome to you all. Let's get C. Alan back in here now. C. Alan, let's break this down. You had started to have little challenges with your camera. So go ahead and finish you're muted. Finish the thought that you had started before your camera went away.
Okay. Omar Archer represent a virus I see in the governance of this country. The one thing about leadership is the ability to confront other leaders and have a debate of ideas as to who is best to take us forward. I think if Mr. Minnis has this testicular fortitude, he should present himself and simply say, within the party, you don't have to bring it to the public. I'm not going to be in that meetings. That I don't think the party's going in the right direction, and this is why we have to consider certain things. He could even bring forward his suggestions as to the changes that he feels is necessary. But instead, Mr. Minnis has a quest for power. He wants to get back to that competent authority position that he had, where he was dictating to us when to eat, when to sleep, when to drink, when to leave, when to do every single thing. It's a dictatorial tendency. And, and in spite of my support now for Mr. Michael Pintard, I don't care who in the F&M is upset with me. If you feel that my position is wrong, Mr. Omar Archer, don't delete me out of your groups. Meet me face to face. You the big bad pit bull, as you call it. Then meet the pit bull killer. Okay? So let's have a debate on ideas. And I know for sure that unequivocally, I'm not going to present any evidence because I ain't in that fight yet. But Mr. Minnis was Michael Pintard and Mr. Bishop Grant was running against misinformation, slander, maligning information, multiple websites. I mean, literally speaking, well over 100,000, maybe 200,000 have been spent in directed marketing using digital geolocation marketing, spreading slander, misinformation.
How much?
200,000, 300 on just on social media marketing alone. based on the what I said,
$200,000?
$200,000 throughput. Yes, you had about 17 websites. That was because I've seen website taken down. Wink, wink. That instantly another one came up with the exact same information. So essentially, what they were doing is they had duplicate layered information. I know of people within the party of that political party that I've taught, and essentially I've seen a signature of some people. And so the whole point was the misinformation, but the problem they didn't understand was Mr. Grant was running in a seat that was his to lose. It was a PLP seat for them to lose. And this is why you saw an entire force of information. Now understand it. Mr. Obadiah Wilson ran alone. He did not get the financial support from the party. He did not get the support of the leader or the chairman during the last election. He won that seat on his own. And Mr. Kingsley Smith, with the full backing of the millions of government and the promises being made and millions that has been spent, gifts that has been done, and everything else, he barely achieved or slightly bested what Mr. Obadiah Wilson did without any support of the party. So that right there tells you that considering what I guess if Obadiah had the volume of support that he had, he would have gotten 100% of the votes. So Mr. Minnis lost this seat. Mr. Michael Pintard and the FNM was seeking to get it back in spite of the odds. But when you let's look at what has been revealed, the data, the insights. You had a government that's in such a panic that their governance is so ineffective that they bring I was waiting for the resurrection to happen for them to bring back some people to be on the campaign trail. I mean, everyone, they were invoking Lyndon Pinlin, they were invoking Obadiah Wilshcombe. I went to the grave, there's another picture to check to make sure that he was still there.
My Lord.
I'm saying to you, because they didn't even one time, they couldn't tell you what Obadiah's desire for West Grand Bahama was. But instead, now let me show you what the Prime Minister did. The Prime Minister gave his promise that he will bring $400 million of development to West Grand Bahama directly from the government, not from Mr. Kingsley Smith, directly from the government to facilitate the promise he made. Now let's look at Mr. Kingsley Smith. It says a promise is a comfort to a fool when the person making the promise has not the ability or the intent to keep their word. We know government has the ability to redirect money anywhere. So government has the ability to bring those promises they made to fruition. I say to you, Mr. Davis does not have the intent. Mr. Kingsley Smith had no authority. He was not a member of government to make those promises. So Mr. Davis made those promises and want to imply that if I don't keep these promises, Mr. Kingsley Smith will do it. Now, see, I have something to say to our Prime Minister and the leader of the Progressive Labour Party. You made those promises. And in 2026, the 38 other constituencies will judge you by your ability to keep your word. If you can't keep your word to us, for this so important seat, why would you keep your word to them? Your integrity is being tested right now. We are promised a seawall that could be very estimated in the range of $100 million, 4 miles of seawall that has to be gutted, taken out, whatever. You're promised a defense force, police station, fire station, whatever combination that could very easily run $60-70 million if you combine the three together, and plus the ambulatory care. You promise expansion of the hospital. You promise a new school, I guess, to replace, it can't be new if you already have that one. So you promise a new school where it would take maybe another $25 million. You promise a rehab of the airport and all other things in West Grand Bahama. He promised to fix the roads and whatever, and etc. He promised to address the thousands of homes in 8 Mile Rock that his ministers discovered, in spite of saying they know what Obadiah wanted. Now, either Obi lied, either they lied on Obi, or Obi lied to them, because they said Obi brought it into cabinet. So how have he brought you his issues in West Grand Bahama into cabinet? It's a shocking surprise. at the condition of our community. See, so it shows you the desperateness to retain this seat, to retain the integrity of his leadership. Now, I haven't added the $80 million for the airport in Bimini that will most likely have cost overruns. I haven't added the promises for the road and the housing development and everything that is there that is going to happen. We haven't done yet. We've been waiting for the rent to own. But just for the dry-in in West Grand Bahama, we have been waiting. In 2 years, they have fixed less houses. I think Mr. Pintard may have fixed more houses in West Grand Bahama during this campaign than the PLP has fixed in their 2 years. The problem I saw with Mr. Pintard, and I expressed this, is Mr. Pintard could not pass a house that was suffering from degradation and not stop to assign or try to perform some form of alleviation or assign a team to it. So that took away from his ability to campaign. I said to him, why don't you just like promise them and let them know, guarantee that you'll do this, win or lose. He says, that's not me. He says the need.
But see, here's the problem with that, though, C. Allen. Here's the problem with that. When the Free National Movement sat in power the last go-round, 5 seats in Grand Bahama were Free National Movement seats, won by the Free National Movement. 5.
Good.
They were in power.
Yes.
And so a thinking person would say, when they come now talking about what the PLP ain't doing, what they ain't gonna do for you, and you need to give us a chance because we can fight for you.
No, but he didn't say that. No, he didn't say that. Mr. Michael Pintard said and first of all, let's recognize, and this is from Mr. Omar Archer. You had 5 seats in Grand Bahama. Leadership determines the pace. Leadership determines the vision. Why did not Minnis do it? That's the question we have to ask. Mr. Pintard is now saying, I represent a new FNM with a new vision.
Okay, fair enough.
So understand, and so if we want, and this is what the PLP is good at, trying to beat someone that somebody else stick with, but they won't tell you that if you want to understand Grand Bahama, Mr. Brave Davis was the Minister of Works or in the cabinet for 12 years of when these issues was facing us. We are still dealing in West Grand Bahama from the hurricane that the Progressive Liberal Party left in place and came in and claimed in 2012 that they would address. And it's still it's worse off than it was. So if you want to use that hindsight, Mr. Davis can't hide behind, I was in the leader then, and Mr. Christie was, and then at the same time now when I say Pintard, you would know. If you want to fight and have a discussion about ideas for building the country, then Mr. Davis should engage Mr. Michael Pintard mono e mono and discuss the ideas for building a country from where we are now and where we need to be.
Clearly, C. Allen, clearly, both parties have failed Grand Bahama.
Parties, no, it's leaders. No, see, let's stop this party thing, because the parties will exist without the leader until there's a new one. Leadership has failed this country, not party. The FNM party don't do anything. Government does. Government does.
Okay.
The leader in the seat determines the pace, determines the direction, determines the vision.
Okay.
FNM. See this so
no, you make a very valid point. Professor Thompson always talks about being able to separate politics from governance. Okay. Both all administrations.
All leaders.
Okay.
Has failed us. Now the decision is now.
Grand Bahama.
So we have to have a
over
discussion
the past
now.
Decades.
Yes. So we have to have a vision now. Do you know what the discussion should be now? Who has the best vision? Who has the best ideas to take us further into the 21st century? But see, what happens is you have the leadership who spends almost 50% of the time in Parliament looking back. I invite people to go watch Mr. Pintard speak. He's asking for the very things Mr. Brave Davis has demanded: transparency, accountability, anti-corruption, freedom of information. Mr. Brave Davis hacked and lived on this for 5 years. I'm not talking about Mr. Perry Christie or what Mr. Minnis failed to do. I'm saying this is where we are now. Minnis is history. Okay? We're talking about the present and the future. So if there is to have a discussion, in governance, there is government and there is opposition. Opposition is not to oppose, which Mr. Pintard has not been doing. It is to provide alternative ideas and policy position. The government has abandoned the policy position of freedom of information. Mr. Pintard is expressing that policy position by demanding freedom of information, by demanding transparency. These are policy positions. When he takes policy positions, not things, position that individuals take. He's demanding transparency, accountability, freedom of information, something that this government seems to have a hatred for.
So he wasn't able, you're suggesting, to put pressure on the leadership when he was sitting in cabinet to do the very same thing?
Collective responsibility. And see, the biggest error in this country is we don't seem to know how government works. Collective responsibility. And unless something morally was against him or at that position, he would have resigned. But when he took a cabinet position, he agreed to go with what the majority said. And so the leadership led the majority to that decision. And it wasn't something that he morally or that threatened his integrity opposed. He did his job, collective responsibility. No one can deny the performance of Mr. Michael Pintard in any of the cabinet positions he held, including Ministry of Agriculture and other different things. You can't. And so if you judge him on his record rather than Minnis' failures, Mr. Pintard leads the pack of people in the House of Assembly right now. And so listen to me, watch Mr. Pintard. He speaks from his mind, a passion, a person who believes it, not some script or PS that somebody wrote for you. This shows you the genuineness of his commitment to understanding the issues that we face as a country. The problem is that we are in crisis, a government that is facing fiscal crisis. Today, you hear the Prime Minister say right now, the economy is growing. On this very show, we spoke about that, jobless growth. Yet there's no statement as to what do we do next. Mr. Pintard has expressed that, and this is why I am just within a matter of days listening to him on the rally stages and understanding that, I said, wait a minute, this man is not going to allow the mudslinging and other different things to misdirect him. And even if I don't join his party, as an adherent to the Progressive Liberal Party philosophy, which 99% of the people in my party do not know, I think I need to support the future for my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I see an opportunity for me to make a contribution and for him to be a voice of the ideas and things that I want to see happen. And I invite the Progressive Liberal Party, the Coalition of Independents, or anyone else to challenge me in what I believe is best for the country. And Mr. Pintard has taken an interest in understanding with individuals, not just me, many of people who like me, who have collectively been able to engage him. We
have a call on the line, C. Allen. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Lady Malcolm. How you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Good afternoon, C. Allen. Lady Malcolm, help me, please.
Okay.
Please help me. For my hair drop off my body. We have already gone through 50, 60 years of the same BS. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, Lady Malcolm. Only one thing left to do, Lady Malcolm. Either display voter apathy, like them hundreds, thousands of people when they come out and say, man, I ain't fooling with it no more, or make a change. It ain't make no sense. Go round for there, for them with the PLP, then the PLP.
No, stop.
Yes, sir.
Just engage me a moment. Tell me what political party did anything in this country if it wasn't for their leadership.
No, I agree with you with leadership now. Everything rises and falls on leadership.
Don't tell me what FM did No, I'm saying to you, when you want to engage me, right, about the development of this country, see, because this is how the PLP gets to ride, right? Because they get to hide behind this concept of PLP rather than saying, this is what Sir Lyndon Pinland did. Now I want to hear what Perry Christie did, and I want to hear what Brave Davis is going to do. Do not hide behind party. See, when you begin to bring in this insert of party, let's talk about what leadership accomplished. We can even look at them individually and see what Loftus Rokas accomplished, see what Eddie Hanna accomplished, see what these individuals accomplished. They were not political parties, they were leaders. And we need to stop talking about political party, and then we'll begin to choose leaders who are in these parties. So you will no longer choose a person who you get to say, oh, he's an FNM or PLP. You get to test that individual, whether he has the leadership competence to represent you in your constituency, rather than say, I am voting FNM. I is FNM. I always vote FNM. Try for once in your life to vote for a leader.
But Lady Malcolm, you understand what I'm trying to say in this next 50-year dispensation? We can't go down the same road, Robin, about these same two people. Because obviously, to me, it seems like ain't nothing to change. That's why a lot of voters ain't coming out.
But I'm saying to you, sir, give us the opportunity. You saw the promises Mr. Davis made. And I want the other 38 constituencies to consider what we are getting here in West Grand Bahama, because I now going to go around my constituency and I'm going to demand that he gives us the same in Central, because we are just in a degraded condition as West Grand Bahama. And I'm going to look for East Grand Bahama that's been devastated by the hurricane, that has the capability of absorbing everything he said. They don't have a clinic. They don't have a school. They don't have a police station. They don't have a fire station. They don't have any of those things. If you do for one, you should do for all.
Alan, I agree with you. See, Alan, I agree. But see, Alan, we can't demand and say it, yes, many months ago, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. It's insanity. We crazy.
But this is what I'm saying. No, but see, again, you're stuck in this premise of political parties. I want to have a debate of leadership. No, I want to have a debate of ideas. No, leadership and ideas, right? So it's not the party, sir. You keep going back to the party. We have had failed leadership, not failed parties.
I am agreeing with you, C. Allen, but I had an FNM PLP leader, FNM PLP leader for 50 years, 70 years.
Know how you're trying to blend this again? Do not use the word party. Let's talk about the failure of each individual leader, regardless of what party.
I'm not speaking about party, C. Allen. I am not. I'm agreeing.
You said FNM leader. Mr. FNM leader. It's a person, Mr. Minnis, who happened to have led an FNM administration. That's the leader that failed us. It's a Perry Glasgow Christie who happened to have led a Progressive Liberal Party administration. See, I understand the third parties. No, see, this whole concept of parties are failures, vote for another party. That's garbage. If you are a leader, put your ideas on the table. People will follow the ideas. And this is the problem you say. Why are we continuously doing the same thing over and over again? Voting for parties. And you're saying parties voting parties.
I can't let you get away with that. Now, when you know how vehement to speak, when we say FNM or PLP, you know exactly what some of us mean. We don't have to be that technical in terms of saying we made them leaders. We know the parties are stand by the leaders. But Jesus, see, Alan, we getting into 60 years now. What we can do, see, Alan?
Choosing the wrong. See, you keep choosing leadership. Understand it. If you had voted for Minnis on his leadership rather than the FNM party, he wouldn't have been there. In fact, we wouldn't have had an election because we wanted Christie to go and Minnis wasn't good enough to come in. See, once you understand that, then you'll understand your third option or your fourth option. And so if I was leading a third party, I would want an expression of leadership ideas into the future. And I'm saying to you and others, if you want to test Mr. Michael Pintard, I want you to consider me his lowest fruit. Get from me. I know what you mean.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this, C. Allen, with regard to what you're trying to, the idea that you're trying to put forward here. Well, first and foremost, regardless of the leadership of the current Progressive Liberal Party and Free National Movement, I gave them both an opportunity to have their candidates come and sit on the show to face some questions, to talk about their leadership, both declined.
Exactly.
They ain't say we ain't coming, but they ain't show up yet. I still waiting for them to call back and say when their candidates coming. Both decided that they did not want to face any tough questions. That's number one, right? So when we talk about this whole question of leadership, while I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, we cannot get away from the fact that the system that we have so ingrained in this country is buried in this whole thing of the party colors and who the party puts forward and who the party wants you to support. We can't get away from that. If we're talking about the quality of leadership, I can't judge leadership capability based on the last two candidates they put forward because they never show up on my show. And quite frankly, I wasn't impressed by nothing what I hear none of them say in that whole campaign. Now, three people did show up on my show. Lincoln Bain, Neil Burrows, and Daquan Swain. And I have to tell you, I was thoroughly impressed with that young man, Daquan Swain. Thoroughly impressed with him. Extremely intelligent, well-spoken young man who seemed to have vision and ideas. The COI people can get vexed with me for saying that, but it is what it is.
No, but that's the truth.
Out of the three candidates, he is the one who impressed me most. The three who came to this show. He got 28 votes. While the party people get in the thousands.
No, but Michelle, let's show you the effect of the system. I'm both of you listen to the effect of the system.
Anyway, let me hang up and listen, Lady Martha.
Okay, thanks for calling. Look,
you have an effect in this system that brings inequity in governance. That's another part we need to fix. See, this is what we're not having conversation on. We have in personality politics when we should be talking about systems reform. We should have a reform of a system that allows and put a limit, maybe $250,000, that can be spent in any constituency directly, and maybe put another limit indirectly as to what's going to happen. See, when you have leadership who can begin to express and detail these ideas, and just don't put them out there as an idea, but have the ability to develop the ideas that actually tells you how is it that we put it, the 6 W's, whatever. Let's have that type of debate with what we do going forward, and see where we are in a week, a month, a year, or whatever. But no one wants to have those type of debates. And I'm saying to you is, you know how you say it doesn't necessarily have to be the leader in the immediate and the leader to eventually come? I invite anybody, not just you, anyone, to call me concerning what you want to talk about, what's now, what's new, and what's next for the Bahamas in regards to what the Free National Movement would do and might do, or whatever it is. And I will be able to tell you the who, the what, the which, the when, the where, the why, and the how. And I'll make sure before in advance that I go and get these information. And just so that these so-called other leaders don't waste his time, let it be Mr. Davis or Mr. Lincoln Bain or anyone else. I'll take y'all on, and then guess what? If you beat me up, you'll say, see, he sent this weak guy to him. Because I'm very interested in moving this country forward. And no one can deny my advocacy. No one can deny my understanding for the future, the need to reform this economy. But when you talk about doing the same thing over and over again, it's trying to reform this dead horse called tourism and his twin sister called financial service and the other triplet called banking. When fintech has replaced them and the new method of the fifth social revolution has done. And so we have to begin to have a conversation on ownership. And so the problem we have is that Mr. Pintard has spent so much time trying to scream to the PLP, please don't turn left. That's a ditch. That's a ditch. And they have ignored us. They have denied. When I say us, he's speaking for us. Opposition doesn't speak exclusively for himself. They have denied everything concerning transparency. They have denied they've broken laws and say we don't think those laws are correct. Can you imagine that you could arbitrarily decide that law is not a good one that you like? They have the power to change the law if they don't like it. What you mean you're going to ignore the law? And so what you have now is an opportunity to examine a new form of leadership. Now, there's a vacuum in this country for millennials and Gen Z. There is no infrastructure as prepared for it. The Progressive Liberal Party has put out a wonderful document, a document called the Blueprint for Change, that none of them seem to know what's in it. And in fact, I've heard Ms. Ginger Moxie imply that she is the one that was the architect or one of the engineers on it. That document speaks very specifically to Grand Bahama. It takes 6 months to put forward policy positions, and it takes 2 years to build the infrastructure. Well, we're 2 years in, and we don't even have the policy position yet to do those wonderful things that they say they have. And I invite the Progressive Liberal Party, especially the MPs, to go read the document. Because, and I would love to debate anybody in the Progressive Liberal Party on what this document is and how it can be implemented. You don't have to say, oh, send Pintard. Pintard is a representative of me. You don't have to ask Pintard to speak for me when I'm available. I'm not in the house. He can speak to me from the house. But I'm on the outside. I'm saying you're burning this boat with me on it. You're burning this boat with my friends, my families, and everyone else concerning. And so it's when we begin to individualize our desire for change and come together as collective within our constituency. Everything we want could be achieved if 20 of us, 20 constituencies was to get together with a commonality of what you want to achieve and go to the individual MPs and hold them responsible. But this is what we do. Instead of me saying, in my constituency, go into Hiram Lewis and say to him, this is our position as a community and we want to hear it in Parliament, we say, the F&M didn't say anything. No, the F&M doesn't speak for us in Parliament. Hiram Lewis does. Crazy Lewis does. Understand? So I'm saying to you, if you want change, stop throwing at the band. Go grab the animal by the horn that you know can make the change and grab the animal instead of throwing at the band. And so if we understand what governance requires, we can get what we want without going to another election. Because the Progressive Liberal Party, if 20 individuals goes in there and say, this is what the people want, they have the majority to affect the change. And when they come out of Parliament that doesn't speak to what we told them to, we can hold them accountable. And I say that I'm going to work with Mr. Pintard to transfer this information, this form of governance in. And if he rejects it, I don't have no problem of speaking my mind. I don't see why he's representative governance. He representative governance we have in the Bahamas. You can't deny what it is that you represent. We share similarities in our desire and our passion to change our country. I am saying I waited for 2 years silently. I didn't go on a break. I waited for 2 years silently, waiting for the Progressive Liberal Party to do something, and they haven't started yet. Or maybe I've been in a coma for 2 years and I missed it.
All right, we have to take a break. I before I go to the break, I find it very interesting. One of the comments on Facebook from Angelic Fence, who doesn't seem to agree with the sentiments that I expressed as it relates to Daquan, and they said, Maud could say anything, and Angelic thinks I agree with you. I just hope you realize that anybody, Maud, could say anything.
Michelle, can I speak?
So when you apply that, when you apply that to Mr. Swain, apply it to all the rest.
Let me just quickly, 10 seconds for Swain. I know him personally.
Okay.
We have been advocates together, advocating for some of the same thing that Lincoln taking credit for. Mr. Swain has been those advocates for those. Mr. Swain has taken the time and is growing. I've seen him growing very well and understanding his community. He's not seeking national leadership. He's seeking to lead his community. And he's demonstrating that he has the understanding, at least from the rudimentary standpoints, of the needs of that community. Mr. Pintard is seeking to lead his community and us nationally. There's two significant differences. So you should ask yourself, what did he say about doing and bringing about change in his community that did not align with what his community needs are?
All right, let's take this break. On the other side of the break, we're going to continue this conversation about the by-election that took place yesterday and what it means more so than just the state of West Grand Bahama and Bimini, but for the nation as a whole. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure. Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Youngevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Youngevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blasted loud.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift. Michelle Malcolm here, along with C. Alan Johnson. We're talking about the drama in West Grand Bahama and Bimini from yesterday's by-election. So here's how you can get into the conversation. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271, 801-0271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. If you haven't already done so, please like and share the show. Also coming to you live on rumble.com, rumble.com. Look for Global Paradigm Shift, all one word, no spaces in between. And you can find us on Cable Bahamas channel 974 or download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. Last but by no means least, Welcome to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio, whether it's from here in New Providence, Grand Bahama, across the country, and around the world. A huge welcome to you all. So, yesterday was the big day, and when the day began, there was lots of feeling of optimism all around. Here now are some clips from some of the persons who were at the forefront of this race and their mood yesterday. This is before the polls closed.
We're excited about the possibility of providing for this constituency leadership that's going to be extremely attentive, that will improve upon the work already done by our departed brother, leadership that will go into many homes here that are challenged because of leakage, mold, there's food insecurity. There are a number of significant challenges that face this very proud community that has produced so many leaders of our country. And so we thank God for the excitement in our team, for the hard work that persons have been engaged in from West Grand Bahama, especially in Bimini, but also from Freeport, as well as some of our national officers who've come in from New Providence. And so we're looking forward to a wonderful day, and that persons would show up and say to the government, we're tired of the neglect that you have shown to this community. We're tired of promises that have been unkept. We're tired of mixed up priorities that have prevented the government from providing resources for small home repairs, for providing a proper social safety net for residents, they've failed to create economic opportunities for the many artisans and fisher folk who are from West Grand Bahama. And Ricardo Grant, the Free National Movement, will provide that missing leadership.
That was FNM leader Michael Pintard. Here's what the COI leader Lincoln Bain had to say.
We're feeling very good about our chances. We feel that the people are tired of the back and forth with the PLP and FNM. And then at the end of the day, it's their choice. They have been neglected for the last 2 years under this administration. And if they want more neglect, then they have a right to vote for that. They have a right to vote for a government that is not going to do anything for them and that gives them promises and doesn't deliver. They have a right to go back to the FNM that did the same thing for the 4.5 years before. But if they are ready for change, they're going to vote for change. They're going to vote for someone who's going to stand up for them in the House of Assembly and in this community.
Okay, so that was Lincoln Bain, leader of the COI, and then we're going to hear now from Daquan Swain, who was the independent candidate. Again, all of these sentiments were expressed while the polls were still open. Everybody was confident going in.
I'm feeling extremely good. You know, we were up from after 5 o'clock this morning on the road from 6, making sure things were in order, making sure that we had all of our logistics on the tents, so our workers were in place. And, you know, today's the day when residents decide what they want. You know, they hold the power right now and it's in their hand. You know, today will chart the course for the next 3 years on how the community will run. So this is the time and opportunity for West Grand Bahama and Bimini residents to decide, how do you want your future to be? Do you want it to be the same way how it was, or do you want to do something different? And I feel that the residents right now want something different. And, you know, the proposition, what I told them is, I said, it's about time that West Grand Bahama and Bimini has the best of both worlds. Meaning that if they vote Daquan Swain independent, they will have 3 parties working for them. Because they will have me as an independent working for them. They'll have the PLP trying to get the seat back. And they'll have the FNM working to try to get the seat. We all know how these elections go. After today, depending on who wins or loses, because there's only one winner, these people are going to disappear. But if you want them here for the next 3 years at least, the option is to vote independent candidate Daquan Swain and watch everybody work for you.
See, Alan, everybody is confident going in.
Yeah, they see, but again, notice what happens, right?
Mm.
The PLP came in, made plenty of promises, been very vague. It's only to the end when they panic and start making direct promises of what you're going to get. They want to be vague. The problem is that everybody comes in and say, I will be better, I will do better. And it goes to the whole concept of how. Okay? First of all, you have to know who, right? And these are things they say. And what is the who about? The who is like for the people. Then you have the what or the which you can do and which things you're going to change. That's for the things. The when, that's for time. The where exactly in the community these needs or these solutions going to be applied. Why exactly are you doing this and what impact did you expect to have, short, medium, and long term? And most importantly, is the how. This is what third parties miss. So yes, there is in spite of the fact that I believe leadership sets the pace and leadership drives the direction. Generally speaking, in their blueprint for change or their manifestos is an expression of an ideology that individuals can actually have some meat on to say, okay, it can go this. Maybe it's not sufficient. And this is where your conversation should come in to have it to ask more questions. But we've never been thought to question even these potential leadership. And so, and I invite the Quan Swain to join me in taking Mr. Michael Pintoud on his word that he is not leaving Grand Bahama. He has now extended his reach based on the promises that the Prime Minister made to make sure those promises are kept. The Quan is young and ambitious, and he just needs, like you say, mentorship, leadership, to understand where even governance goes beyond the concept of community. If we had local government, the Quan would be, I'm not talking about what we have now, I'm talking about true local government, where you have autonomy of making decisions and real decisions like a warm-up. The Quan would be an ideal place for the Quan to have that experience. So if he wants to understand how that should run interactively, I would say join me. And I would say any other than millennials, if you want to talk to someone that helped build and design the world you're in, who just happens to be a Bahamian, I say join me and let's have that conversation where you're not having people like the coalition said, we're going to rent a boat and rent it to you for $50 a day, and you will take turns having that boat going on. You can talk to individuals like me and the Free National Movement that understand fintech, that understands that you could raise the $100,000 and go to a fishery place or someplace else, and a $100,000 boat will cost you $1,200 a month, insurance say $1,500 totally, that you only need to deliver $1,500 a month to the fishery in exchange for that boat, and you have empowered of ownership. You know, a statement that has been borrowed from me is that I don't give people to fish. I don't teach people how to fish. I teach them to own the boat so they can also feed other people. So, so what happens then is that when you talk about fintech, you're talking about building into a community, houses in distress, individuals, multi-layered families living in the same homes. So we need to create an empowerment regime. And fintech allows us to use funding. Say, for instance, we have an urgent need for short-term vacation rentals or bed and breakfast on Grand Bahama. So instead of giving a person just a house and say you're going to struggle and go to work for it, and I'm going to say this, we in the FNM understand how fintech works. And we're going to bring it to West Grand Bahama and throughout the entire Grand Bahama, and then it'll spread throughout the Bahamas. Because I want you to stop for a moment and take this. Take a house, put it at 2,000 square feet, and add an additional 500 square feet, one bedroom apartment or something in the yard or attached to the house, totally separate from the home. And let's put it at the low end of $100 a day. you were talking about collecting $336,500 at full occupancy. But if you take away and put it at 60% occupancy, you'll be well above $24,000 a year. So here it is that let's even put you at a $300,000 loan. Your income, just for a passive income in that house, is $24,000 a year. That brings down the payment of your mortgage to almost nil. We have a need. This is the new reality that we live in the new global digital space where digitization, fractionalization, tokenization, securitization exists. These are not conversations that the Progressive Liberal Party is having. They have it in their document, but they can't translate it into the language because there's something called first-person knowledge. First knowledge, right? What you understand is, imagine that you go back in time to 1970, and you could take a cell phone with you, right, and explain to them for the cell phone that this is a device that makes calls, calculator, all these different things, and they've come to understand it. And then you say to them, you just need to connect it to the internet. And they go, where is the internet? You have to have first-person knowledge, second-person knowledge, third-person knowledge to understand how this new global world works. But you can't ask a person who doesn't have first-person knowledge to explain a third-person thing that we're in existence today. And I'm saying to you, resident within the Free National Movement right now, today, are individuals that understand the environment we live in today and going to tomorrow. And so seeing that Mr. Michael Pintard seems to be focused on making sure that this current administration turn the ship away from the reef to make sure that we have transparency and accountability so we can know where we are to correct the mistakes that he probably will make, then you need individuals like me and Daquan and other individuals to come together and shape the policy of the next government before they get into office. And I'm saying,
let me ask you a question. You're talking about individuals coming together. We can't ignore the elephant in the room, and that is Lincoln Bain. Many of his supporters obviously are very disappointed today. Some of them are here going as far as to say that
because they don't understand what he's saying.
Hold on. Some of them on here going as far as to say that warlocks have put a spell over the people, and that's why they keep voting.
They were saying that they were stupid. They said it was stupid.
But my question to you is this. Why do you believe that Mr. Bain's message is not resonating with the masses? Or do you believe it's just a matter of time before it does?
Mr. Bain will become irrelevant in a matter of weeks. Because when Mr. Bain is a pirate and a parrot, he pirates ideas and he parrots it. And I put to you that Mr. Bain cannot stand in an open debate. See, he says he wants it. I remember one of your shows says, I'll debate him after the election. Okay, I'm not a candidate now, neither you. I invite you, Mr. Bain. Let's have a discussion on natural resources. Let's have the same question on the who, what, where, when, why, and how we're going to do these things. Because you're speaking to individuals who have no understanding of first-person knowledge, you're selling them on second-process information. That is impossible. I say to you and to those individuals, you say that Mr. Bain is ready for debate and anything else, C. Allen is challenging him. Because what happens is Mr. Bain has spun a cult, tell a statement so big that it's almost impossible not to even conceive, that there's a conspiracy that these individuals goes into parliament and steal billions of dollars and come back into the same community to live in the same houses and drive the same cars after their terms are up, after stealing billions of dollars. Or they're so stupid that they would help somebody steal billions of dollars and don't even keep 2 or 3 million for themselves to upgrade their own lives. And so it's the plausibility, not even the possibility, the plausibility of what he says is so landish that it's hard to believe it not be true. And then he says, see, they're not challenging me, but I'm challenging you on natural resources. It's something that I've been speaking for 25 years in this country, or 125 of them. In the same way you say, oh, everything is a natural resource. That's not the definition. I challenge you on what a sovereign wealth fund is and what it's supposed to be and how it operates in the world. Because 99% of what Mr. Bain says could be explained away by a rudimentary search of Google. and it is not. And so for those of us that happen to be able to use Google, verify what he says, then you say, I'm stupid because I don't believe him. That the individuals who developed the technology, who developed the information, who is in the marketplace, says cannot happen. But Mr. Lincoln Bain will speak it and it will be done. It's garbage. And so I'm simply saying to you, for those individuals that want to know what a sovereign wealth fund is, that want to know what aragonite is and its multiple different forms, where it is and why it's important for us as opposed to the world. If you want to know what salt is, if you want to know what sand is, and the difference between the multiple things, if you want to know what stromatolite is, the blue holes is, if you want to know what the mud is, if you want to know what the salt marshes are, if you want to know what the seagrass is beyond the fact that somebody put in a paper, have you read the report that those people compile, or you read the newspaper article and repeat it as if you're an expert, you and those around you? It's garbage. And I'm saying today, no, it's garbage juice. And I don't care about the 300 or 400 people who bought into the fanaticism. We must be concerned about the other 10,000 individuals in West Grand Bahama who needs direct concrete on how to develop themselves, how to be digital entrepreneurs, how to develop centers of innovation. How, in the same capacity, I invite any teacher to speak to my 6-year-old daughter and see if she could test at the 6th grade level or above. I invite any teacher to speak to my 3-year-old daughter and see if she could test at 3rd grade or above in reading and writing and comprehension. I don't talk this thing, I live this thing. And
okay.
so
we have to take a breath. We have to take a break. Let's go to the break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the drama in West Grand Bahama and Bimini in yesterday's by-election. And guess what, y'all? There was some real drama. We're going to talk about that and more on the other side. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the Mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here, along with C. Alan Johnson, and we're talking about the drama in West Grand Bahama and Bimini yesterday, the by-election, which we saw the winner emerge as the Progressive Liberal Party's candidate and the person of Kingsley Smith. And in case you missed it, he gathered unofficially 2,150 votes. Coming in second was the Free National Movement's Ricardo Grant with 1,276 votes. Lincoln Bain unofficially captured 307 votes. DeQuan Swain, 28 votes. And to Neil Burrows captured 4 votes. Now, the day did not go by without a significant amount of drama. They had all kind of row and fist fight, and generally speaking, they said it was a peaceful process, but they did have a couple of incidents that occurred. Here now is just one of them, where PLP and FNM supporters were going at each other for getting too close to the gate in a particular polling division. And which one?
Polling division. A polling station. Right?
Yeah. And here's how that went down. I mean, it got a little testy there for a second, but here's a look at what happened there.
And they're still there. Either you move them. Either you in or you out. Either you in or you out. Move them. Either you in or you out. This is where fun will start. I tell you all, fun will start. Move them. We don't go sit down. I'm going to sit down. That's your legal shit. I ask you all before public speaking. Move them. Move them. Move them. Move them. Get them down the road. Move them. Don't grip me hot, you know. Don't grip me hot. I didn't answer them. I'm not sure I'm a chill for them. Move them. You ain't running no place. You ain't running no place right now. Go down there. Go down there.
Reinforce one now. Reinforce one reach. Reinforce one reach.
Go down there. I don't care what you all do. I ain't moving until you all move.
Jesus, take the wheel. Take the wheel.
Let me say congratulations to Senator Russell. He's noticing that the other crowd was moving towards it. If you watch him, that he aggressive one. The lady first saying, "Oh, reinforcement reach and
Which one of the people in that video is Senator Russell? Who are you talking about?
One in the blue shirt who stood between him and the FNM, between Big Daddy, Ricardo Patton and oh boy, I forgot his name, the FNM guy. He's the chairman for West Carolina, for Western, I think, or something of that sort. I'm familiarizing myself with the FNM people. I'm very familiar with my party people. But I saw that he was telling them to go back down, go back, so it doesn't escalate. So I congratulate him on de-escalating that situation that's there, because it could have gotten worse. And I understand that later on, involving the same Ricardo Patton, that it may have gotten worse. That's just something that somebody said, that I haven't seen any video, any proof, or anything of that sort, that somebody was assaulted. And so the problem is that, passions got extremely high, and the processes we use for voting is antiquated at best. Again, need to be in the 21st. We need to adopt 21st century ideas and policies and procedures. Remember, the role of our MPs is to advocate for legislation, which we call laws, policies, procedures, programs, and processes. And it's another one, but I always forget the 4 Ps. But essentially, that's their role. And then the leadership guides those policies to be effective. And so I am looking forward to provide my input, and I'm going to encourage. And my biggest fear is, in spite of my age, I'm closer to the end than I am to the beginning. But I have had a wonderful 47 years in technology, and there was only punch cards, and there was no monitors and other different things in the front of the computer. I've seen the advent of the desktop computer, the laptop, the tablets, the telephones. I've seen the advent of the internet as we know it with the TCP in 1983, January 1st. I've seen the World Wide Web, where you've moved from the digital numbers into actually using words, and all those things in between. I have seen the adoption of blockchain, where I could almost argue that I probably was within the top 100 people, the first 100 people to adopt the technology, because I'm an advanced technology adoption. I have a wife that is competent in artificial intelligence and data management at 27 years old. And I think she understands also the 21st century, because she and I discuss oftentimes, and for those who've seen her, she's spoken on the digital economy, the conceptual economy, the knowledge economy, the aquamarine economy, for which she composed the carbon economy, ocean economy, all of these various different economic models, and she speaks to them in the context of how they apply to the Bahamas. And so, in the same capacity, you have Mr. Pintard speaking about transparency, accountability, anti-corruption, and freedom of information, something that we all demand. So I'm saying to individuals, how do you argue that a political party is speaking? What you have is a political party that reflects the image of its leader. And so we can have these conversations without the blame game. And in that way, we could actually begin to challenge the Progressive Liberal Party to compare their ideas for national development against the leadership of those, what they call in opposition, more so the official opposition. There should not be a pushback. As a supporter of Mr. Pintard, that I should be able to express the errors that you are making, or the failure to keep the promise for the implementation of digitization, because it's something I know. Mr. Pintard understands that he's not the purveyor of all knowledge, like the leaders of the Coalition of Independence. He understands that other individuals around him possess certain skills. And so I stay in my lane in the area that I'm involved in technology and fintech and digitization and et cetera, and digitalization and digital transformation. And so when you have a leader that believes they know all things and they can speak things into position and the world moves because of their presence, that is a narcissist. That is not a leader. And so what we need for this country is leaders that can express ideas to individuals so they can do it themselves. We don't need.
And you are convinced that that leader is Michael Pintard.
I believe that, yes, I am convinced that Mr. Pintard has the ability to harvest and harness individuals such as myself to come together and propose, not execute, but propose solutions for where we are and where we need to be. But not only is these solutions applicable if he's elected, these solutions is applicable today. We're talking about building homes today. You can't say in 3 years your home will be repaired. You'll have a new home. We're saying that you need a need for digital entrepreneurship. We have a need for an educational system that has put our individuals decades behind. Why is it that my daughters and my soon-to-be son would have an advantage over 99.99% of the humans? When I'm saying to you, and Mr. Pintard would join me in saying this, is we could put things in place right now, today. Notice, my children don't depend on this broken system. And so we don't have to wait until Mr. Pintard get in to reform the system. We can put educational empowerment centers today. We don't have to go to the park right now today. West Grand Bahama is, and BTC can verify this, has fiber to every single lamp pole on the island. Go to the BTC page and you will see you have all of South of Grand Bahama, and 100% of West Grand Bahama is digitized, ready to go to put broadband as a human right in every child's hand today. They not really have to go to the park in the middle of the night. And when you talk about energy reform, we today, I believe that Mr. Michael Pintard has the leadership ability and the ability to attract individuals that we could bring energy reform to West Grand Bahama, Marco City, and across Grand Bahama today for individuals that understands what it requires to execute today before you become government. And your policies can only enhance it. We cannot continue to depend on government to do all things for us. We need them to go back to policy, to legislation, policy, process, programs, procedures, etc. And we believe that there is sufficient intelligentsia. Do you know in Western Grand Bahama, they're the individuals that has built Grand Bahama, and for people to insult them that they're incapable of continuing to build Grand Bahama as well as the country, would we need, and we need to be able to align with government to get them to get out of our way so we can build, just put in place the ecosystem that is required for us to thrive. And we want Mr. Pintard, and I believe him, and I take him as his word, because he has not broken his word yet. And his willingness to listen, learn, and understand that we don't need Parliament. So he knows to go into Parliament and argue for this legislation, to argue for these policies and positions for us to provide homes, for us to facilitate repairs. Because you understand, everything you depend for government on, it reaches into your front pocket, into your back pocket, and then give you the money to put in your front pocket. Government doesn't make money. And I'm sure people say, oh, but natural resources. I want to have that conversation in this proper context on the development and economic empowerment of Bahamians, not telling Bahamians, considering that 80% of Bahamians make maybe $30,000 or less, that you could now sit at home and get $100,000 a year and hire 225,000 individuals to come into the country to do all the things that you want. And that's not counting your new maids and everything. And so how are you going to do this? And so now you say,
we have to take a break, C. Allen. We have to take a break. But let me just say this. All of what you're saying is well and good. But the bottom line is this. We all still operate under a Westminster system.
And I'm
yeah, let's talk about that on the other side of the break, because guess what? All of this leadership capability you say Michael Pintard have, and visionary this and visionary the next. Bottom line is, if he can't win the support, then what's the point of having all of that if you can't figure out how to win an election? Bottom line. We got to take a break. On the other side, we're going to talk a little bit about that. We ain't got much time. And then we're also going to talk very quickly about the allegations of little funny things going on in this last election. Stay with us. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
$99.5.
Focus on you. Well, guys, back. I got the bag. I just got word. I got 50,000. Got to spend the day. 50,000. I got the bag, guys. 50,000. All right. Bishop say it got to go today, so y'all check me. I got the bag. All right. Bring your voter's card. I got it.
Let me be quick, fast, and hurry.
That individual finds himself today in police custody for that silly video that he put out. Only an idiot would do such a thing, I think.
Yeah,
but that individual is now in police custody, and there are other allegations of things happening behind the scenes, such as political leaders or former political leaders encouraging their party supporters not to come out to vote, or all these kinds of things. Tell us quickly about some of the shenanigans that went into this, that continue to happen.
I've spoken to lawyers concerning that video, and they said it's very well scripted for the fact that he will simply get off with a warning because he could argue that it's satire. He never directly involved anybody, and he never induced or anything. He left it to the imagination. That was crafted by a lawyer in one of the two political parties that was running. Okay, well crafted to do something. And I haven't 100% ironed it down yet. It may came from within the leadership of the FNM. You can attach who you want on that. And it was well crafted to cost dissent. And so you could take it from the leadership within the FNM or the leadership of the Progressive Liberal Party. And it did what it's supposed to do, but it didn't change the fact that the insights and the impact that has came out of this election is invaluable to the Free National Movement going into 2026 or before. And they will be using that insight that has been garnered to them to have them prepare. The insight also comes from the needs. Mr. Pintard on the surface has known the needs of his community and those around him, for those individuals who come out of their community to him. Now he's beginning to recognize the need, and this is my observation, that he may recognize the need now to go into each of these communities. And this is the opportunity for us as community leaders to give him the information that he as an individual cannot get. So if you're concerned about your community, not just here in Grand Bahama, but throughout the entire Bahamas, this is your opportunity to channel that information to the leader of Her Majesty Opposition, which in his Westminster system stands for government in waiting. Make sure that your opinion and your voice is heard. And when he argues for you for transparency, accountability, and everything, don't say that's an FNM. That is an idea that I want to have invoked. And then you can take that argument to the MP, whether it be FNM or PLP, in your community and say, I want the things that Mr. Pintard is speaking about. Transparency.
Okay, we only have a couple of minutes left, but I go back to the question that I asked prior to the break. All of that is well and good, but if the man can't win an election, what does it matter?
But I'm saying to you, what election he's lost. See, we have to look at things in context. We have a demographics that belong to very particular parties. There's not a lot of them, maybe 10 seats in this country that leans towards one particular ideology. And so to overcome that, we know that you could go to, say, St. Anne's as an example, and you could place the exact same scenario in St. Anne's in favor of the FNM that has occurred here. And so let's not pretend. See, this is the talking heads who's trying to make a tempest in a teacup, to make an anthill into a mountain.
Well, it looks like we've lost C. Allen. His video just dropped out. In any event, we are okay. He's back. C. Allen, you don't have any time left. It's 3:01, and I got to close.
30 seconds.
So I want
to end me in changing the Bahamas. Follow me, follow Mr. Pintard, and let's change the Bahamas for the benefit of our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
Tell Michael, send me the check for all the campaigning you do on this show today, all right? Thanks, C. Allen, for being here today. Appreciate you as always, but gotta go. It's less than a minute to go before 4 o'clock. Listen, guys, regardless of who came out the winner yesterday, we're all Bahamians. Let's not forget that, especially on this Thanksgiving Day. Let us be thankful for grace, for the beautiful country in which we live. And let us not forget to be civil towards one another, because regardless of the party colors and the party you support, at the end of the day, the most important colors should be, as a nation, the colors of our flag. We all need to come together as one and stop allowing politics to make us enemies of each other from within. Doesn't make sense. Tomorrow is Friday. You know that means it's going to be a TGIF open line show. I expect the phone lines are going to be lit like a Christmas tree tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. Until then, God willing, I will see you guys same place, same time. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good afternoon, everybody.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.